Questions?
I have a question, Josh, if that's
Yes.
okay. Could you talk a little bit about your practice as an actor and in terms of a business hustle side? Do you have a self-taping practice? Do you self-tape every week and send that to your agent? What did you do when you were in Sydney and LA?
Well, self-tape has become the norm now. So, it's very, that was obviously a big transition that COVID brought with it, is that you're no longer really auditioning in the room. And I have to say that's a great shame for an actor like me, right? For lots of reasons. One, I get a lot of my work through improv. Through the, going and doing an audition and the director saying, all right, hey, just do one and play with it. Those jobs I end up generally getting. Well, you don't get to do that in a self-tape because no one gives you that direct feedback to say, do it, mess with the script a bit. Also, you don't get anyone telling you, directing you, right? So given that you can get a piece of material and there is literally infinity amount of ways you can interpret that script, that's not an exaggeration, an infinite amount of ways you can interpret a script. The chances that you've chosen the exact way the director has seen it is very slim. Right? That's an unlikely event that you've gone, I see it this way, and the director's gone, I see it this way. Out of infinity, we both chose the same one. Right. Unlikely to happen. Can do, very unlikely. So that's why direction and being able to take direction is really important, because it's inevitable you're going to be slightly off the way a director sees it or whatever, and then the director has a chance to be able to say, hey, instead of that, try this, because that's going to be a little better for the story that I'm telling, the overall story. So that's now gone in self-tape, so you don't get any of that. So it's frustrating, but yes, you've got to buy the ring light, you've got to get the microphone, the camera, you've got to sort of do your own hair, makeup, and costume, and upload it, film it. You've got to get someone to read opposite you, the unsung heroes of self-tapes who get nothing out of it. But they're reading opposite you, and now you have to edit it and upload it, and you do everything. So, and I've got to say, it's probably around to stay. I don't expect that will change. So get used to self-taping. It's going to be part of the industry now, probably forever. But, what I would put into your heads is don't worry about flubbing little moments, right? No one ever lost a job because they flubbed a line. No director ever watched something and go, oh my God, they're perfect. They're perfect. They're perfect. They flubbed a line. They're done. Right? Never. Never in a million years did anyone ever lose a job because they flubbed the line, right? So don't focus on the little things, because as a director, I promise you that has never mattered. It's all about it is a hard concept to kind of grasp, but what's your function or your character's function in the film? Remember that every actor is a cog in a big machine, right? Every lighting person, the caterers, the hair, the makeup, it's a collective art form where every person in the credit roll at the end of a film is part of making that story come true, right? So, I guess what my thing is, if you can know your function in the film, what is it? What is your character doing to tell the part of the story that needs to be told? It'll help you understand what you need to do in an audition, right? If your character is there to be the dangerous person, right? They're applying pressure to the lead, and they're there to apply tension or drama or whatever. It'll help you, shape your audition accordingly, if that makes sense. So understanding the bigger picture will help you shape the smaller things like auditions and stuff.
Do you have do you still go take classes?
Yeah, definitely. The best thing you can do is understand that acting is a muscle that you can strengthen, like going to the gym. This idea that it's come from on high, you've been born with it, get that out of your heads immediately. It is a skill, a muscle that you strengthen only by working it. And the people you look up to are just people who worked harder, right? And so anyone you think is your favourite actor or whatever, trust me, they're good because they worked really, really hard. I refute the idea of natural talent. I mean, there is an element of that. That is nowhere near enough to keep working, right? And if you only do the things that you're naturally good at, you'll burn out so fast. We'll get so sick of that bag of tricks that we eventually go, what else have you got? And you're like, oh, I never trained any of the other things. So that's actually kind of it. Can I work for 50 years on that? And they're like, no, you'd be lucky to work for 3 years on that. So work on that stuff. Identify the stuff that you're less good at. And that's the stuff you should be really excited about working. You know, you guys all know that thing that you do that's pretty bad. It's good. It's baller. It's better than the others. You know, you do something that you know you're good at. Cool. You'll always be good at that. Now focus on the stuff you're not as good at. And don't be scared of it. Be excited about working it. Because that's what's going to give you so much more range as an actor. And it'll give you longevity in this industry. Because trust me, right, it goes forever. If you want it to, it can last a lifetime. But the only way it will is if you do the work.
Questions?
What's your favourite genre to work in?
Look, anything, man. I genuinely don't really have a favourite. I mean, I've mainly worked in comedy because you know what it's like. Once you do something, they go, that's all you can do, and they keep giving you that, and it's not. But, you know, you're a victim of the last job you did. But I watch anything. Crime, true crime, you know, horror. Man, anything good I'm into. So they all present different challenges. I gotta say, I think comedy's the hardest because you're doing all the stuff you're doing in any other genre, right? You've got character development, you've got emotionalized, you've got all that stuff, plus you've got to be funny. But with any other genre, just remove the funny part and go, thank God, I don't have to worry about that. I can focus on this other stuff. So I love comedy, but it is exhausting sometimes. And it can get a bit repetitive, but anything can. My dream is to have a career where you get to do all different genres. That would be the best.
It's interesting you say that because Chubbuck says, you know, you go to your youth to find out what your goals are. And I remember you as a student always being a clown.
Yeah.
You're always.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was, in some ways, it was a survival mechanism to be able to, you know, I went to an all boys, I thought it was a terrace, I saw someone was terrace.
Terrace,
I was a terrace boy as well. And, you know, it's a very sporty school, it's an all boys private school, you know, and I was not a sporty kid, but being the clown, I was able to do drama and music and all the things I loved, but being funny gave me some protection.
Yeah.
You know, and so it was a way of surviving in a sense, and so I understood its power. You know, the power of comedy is pretty amazing. It's a bit of a magic trick. So if you know, imagine, think about it, a comedy film run in a movie theatre, that you are taking 100 people who don't know each other. They've all got different backgrounds. They've all got different headaches going on in their life. That person's car broke down. That person's fighting with their dad. Or that person's got... They're all different. But they all come to this space. The lights go down. And for 90 minutes, they're all laughing at the same thing. And that, to me, is a magic trick. That you get 100 strangers or more, weirdly, to all care about the same characters at the same time and laugh and cry in the same places, and then send them on their way and they all go off into their lives again. To me, it's amazing.
It is.